Flight boss, bitch, for sure. Flight more than everybody, and I'm back in this motherfucker. It's the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And this video, now, flight morning. Now, this video right here, and I'm back, so I'm about to dive right back into all my emails and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna sit here and say like I celebrated yesterday's holiday, but there's a lot of interaction still going on, so my energy still was depleted to a small degree, but I'm back right now, and I'm going into everybody's emails and things of that nature. But I needed to make this video right here for all my suns and moons out there. For all my suns and moons, all my celebrated blood cells, all my celebrities that became stars, that have ascended from just being an average blood cell and became a star. So all my moons is females and all my suns is males. And if you have became a star, then you shine bright. You gain a lot of attention. You gain a lot of traction. So this video is for you, because the spaces that you have been exalted in, is very high places for all lesser blood cells to look at as an example on what to do and what not to do once we start to travel through these astral realms mentally. So for the most part, you guys probably go through a lot of experiences, so you guys are aware of a lot of things, but due to your upbringing and due to your own spiritual wisdom, you may not know how to actually interact with these things that you are experiencing by you being exalted into these high places and becoming a star as a sun and a moon. So for the most part, it's for all my male and females that's celebrities. Check this out. All y'all need to either avoid or sue TMZ for using your likeness. Now, you can sue these people for defamation of character, but I know a lot of y'all get in these positions and be like, well, TMZ got a crowd, got an audience, so you look at it like all good publicity. Well, all publicity is good publicity, whether it's bad or good. All publicity is good publicity. And I'm here to let you know that TMZ has an agenda. So 9 times out of 10, their agenda doesn't match your agenda. If your agenda is to feed your family, feed your friends in some way, shape, or form by you being successful, that is not TMZ agenda. Now, TMZ's agenda holds something that's opposite to what you're trying to gain money for. So they're trying to get money and you're trying to get money. But here's what you need to understand. TMZ, the way that they're trying to get money is by putting stars in negative lights, putting stars in shade. AKA, this is what we call propaganda, when you can take a shape and form and give it a meaning that you want to give it. So based upon your own spiritual nature, whatever energy, whatever meaning you give that shape and form, you utilize the form of propaganda. So you have a bunch of people who work for TMZ and Hollywood and things of that nature over there in California who's dealing with very old spirits, but you have very old authoritative spirits that's working through TMZ and things of that nature. And what you got going on here is people who like to create narratives. Now, these narratives is backed and supported by director type energy, because Hollywood is the home of sitcoms, movie directing, and things of that nature. When you go to the East Coast, that's more of the music. When you go to the West Coast, that's more of directing and things of that nature. So we're dealing with imagery. We're dealing with creating narratives. We're dealing with taking creative measures out of real scenarios and creating some type of comic book or some type of imagery that shows as a representation of what everybody go through on a day-to-day basis. So this is basically what movies is and things of that nature. So that whole spirits and bodies, and the way those spirits like to carry out duties and obligations is running around loose in Hollywood and things of that nature. So when you get like a firm like TMZ, right, they have a certain agenda, right, to create propaganda, to create imagery that's backed and supported by real scenarios, but the imagery is the creative aspect that they put on it based upon their directing it. And when we call a director is a person who direct energy. So they direct energy. They make you focus on this image, and then they make that image imagery. So now that picture becomes a motion picture. Now it has movement. Now it has motion. So now it's fluid. So this is with the energy that's going on. So it really doesn't care about the actual situation that happened. The only spirits that's embodied, that's embodies over there in Hollywood, the only thing they care about is creating imagery out of what's actually going on. And they're trying to be the owners of that intellectual property. So they could come up with an idea or a theme, but that theme is backed and supported by a real situation. So this is what you need to understand. A lot of these spirits don't know what they're doing. They're just doing things out of sake of them getting attention themselves, so they could become stars in some way, shape, or form. So now everybody in the TMZ office, you damn near know they motherfucking names. Like Harvey and the other motherfucker and shit like that. So all these motherfucking regular ass blood cells are starting to become celebrated. So now they got like 3 million subscribers and things of that nature. And now TMZ is becoming a strong constellation because all the blood cells is being ascended over there because now you are knowing the spiritual energies based upon you knowing their name. And now they're being ascended into a higher space. So now lesser celebrities think it's a good thing to be on TMZ, regardless if you're being talked about in a good or bad way. So this is what I need y'all to understand, right? We don't want TMZ to become a bunch of stars. We don't want them suns and moons over there to become stars, because what's actually going on, if their light is emitting brighter than yours, and the way that they got their light was from your light, your energy itself, by you being a celebrity, then here's what's actually going on, right? They're making money off your likeness, and then the way that they're making money is putting you in a bad light. You see what I'm saying? So I repeat, if TMZ is not paying you for an interview, then you need to disclose anything that has to do with your name being up under one of their titles for their videos. You know what I'm saying? You need to jump into some form of action that you are suing. Then I will go as far as that. Now it takes a Ricky Deep person like me who TMZ don't give a fuck about to speak about this, but this is a warning for all you motherfucking stars out there, all you sons and moons, male and females that's becoming stars. You need to put yourself in a situation where you can sue TMZ anytime they utilize your likeness for their agenda. And 9 times out of 10, their agenda might be just their agenda, but by default, based upon your career, you're going to be put in a bad light on their agenda, because that's the only way they can gravitate attention towards their whatever they're building, because that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? They talk about stories in their own light. So if you are a musician, by default, the only way they can make any money or gravitate any attention off your name is by putting you in a bad light. By default, just because of their intent, just because of their agenda, just because of their location, just because the suns and moons that work in that constellation, aka that corporation. So by default, you need to be putting yourself in a situation where you can sue them anytime they and put yourself in a situation where they can't just upright utilize your name for just for anything. Like, I upload videos daily on YouTube, and I get emails daily on copyright issues. So goddamn it, TMZ need to be experiencing the same thing when they upload. If you are a celebrity, you are legalified. So you are legalized. Was legalified? That's a new word. You are legalified. So you can have a certain amount of files in your shit. You see what I'm saying? To change certain shit. Like, you can take down videos and re-upload it, like just because you re-edit the video and still keep all your views from the previous upload that you just took down if you are solidified, like you legal terms, and you are a former celebrity, right? You can have a form of paperwork. Now you need to be putting yourself in a situation where you got paperwork on TMZ. Therefore, anytime they utilize your name, they can't just upright utilize your name for their liking, or it's going to be repercussions. You know what I'm saying? They should have that copyright disclaimer on their shit also. So if it's not a paid for interview, if they didn't pay you to be able to utilize your name and discuss a story, because they're not doing basic news stories. See, that's how they hide their shit too. They sit around and write a bunch of paperwork and contracts to make themselves look like they're news, but it's not. They're fake news because it's propaganda. A lot of their news is not even true. They over exaggerate stories and things of that nature. So even though real news do that, TMZ go overboard doing that because they're entertainment news. So, but you need to understand the key word in front of the news I just used: entertainment. So this is why it's important for you to have a form of an entertainment lawyer to set your ass up an agreement that anytime TMZ utilize your name, you see what I'm saying, that they either are going to be fined, or they making enough money, or they have to pay you for that statement, or pay you to utilize your name, and you have to look over that to see if this is even a story that you even want them to put out. So that this contract that they're gonna have to pay you for, they not even gonna be able to lie, because they're doing propaganda every day. So on that contract, on that email that they send you, it better have everything that they gonna lie about on that shit too. It better not be no situation that they just pay the price. They paid a little couple thousand to utilize your name, but then now they can say whatever they want. No, everything that they gonna say better be on there too, because you should be able to agree to the terms and conditions if this even a story that you want to put out. Because you know the celebrities like to play the game. This is why celebrities is not in the situation right now that I'm talking about. Trust me, y'all gonna thank me later. But the reason y'all ain't in a situation that y'all thinking about now, because y'all looking at it like, well, shit, all news is good news. So you got some celebrities like, I don't care what TMZ talking about, they spreading my name out there. So you got celebrities out there that'll look over the contract and be like, I don't care what that story look like, it'll get me a lot of attention. So you got a few that'll play ball anyway, but still get paid for that shit. You see what I'm saying? Don't let TMZ out here create some type of Hollywood energy around y'all well-being and the way that y'all take care of y'all family and shit like this. Shit is serious out here. Don't let them create some fantasy around y'all real life. This is what directors been doing for ages. Directors been taking motherfucking the fucking old Hindu and then Mesopotamian texts and things of that nature, and recreating and having their own philosophical points of views of these things and creating movies of this shit. You know what I'm saying? They all copycats. So you need to understand this is the energy that's going on in Hollywood. So don't be no fucking sun and moon that's creating all this wear and tear, getting hit by asteroids in the astral realm in your life just to get ascended, just for them to talk about all the travels and all the asteroids you just got hit by as if it's some fucking joke. Where you know you got hit by all those asteroids and got washed off in all those currents and shit to get to the space you in right now as a form of sustaining yourself through this astral travel. Yet you're gonna let this lower constellation corporation called TMZ, weak ass blood cells, weak ass suns and moons, create imagery and try to direct your direction and your path, and make the lesser blood cells look at that like it's directed in this way, so it looks like this, and it looks like the way they're trying to create it to look like, aka make a movie out of your life, and your life is very real. Now if they gonna do that, you make sure you getting paid. Now if you ain't, that's a motherfucking problem. See what I'm saying? Flight boss, bitch, goddamn air. Y'all motherfucking celebrities take care of yourselves out here, man.